So let's graph the first one. They're already in slope-intercept form at the beginning here. Use your notes to help yourself out. So we got y-intercept of -4, so we're going to start at -4. That's the beginning part, the b. And then we're going to go up 1, and we can go right 2. So up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2, just like we've always done. You can also go the other direction, down and left, down and left. It's all in a straight line. Now look up the symbol. This is a greater than, so should I make a dashed line or solid line? Dash line, so let's go make a dash line. And should I shade up or down? Up. Now when you're doing the shading, it's not going to be perfect. You can do something as simple as just kind of, okay, it's this side, and I'm okay with that. If you want to spend more time and make it more exact, or that's fine too. But whatever you do, make sure you use pencil, because we do have times where you accidentally shade the wrong side. It's tempting to want to use like a highlighter, but then you can't erase that. So just try to use a pencil at first till we get the hang of it. Okay. Now below it says determine if the given points are part of the solution. So it's like doing that check part. So there's two ways we can check to see if it's right. One of them is algebraic. You just plug in x and y and see if you get true or false. So like for here, remember this is x and this is y. So we plug x and y into here, so it's actually going to be 1. Is 1 greater than half of 2 minus 4? Okay. And just simplify a little bit. So we have half of 2 is 1. So is 1 bigger than -3? Is that true? Yeah, that's true. So this point, 2, 1, should be in the shaded region. And if you look on the graph, yeah, 2, 1 is in the shaded region. So that they match up. It's true in the algebra, and it's true on the graph. Shaded region is the whole true area. Anything in this area is true. Anything in this area here would be false, because those are not solutions. And if you plug in here 4, -3 and test that, so -3 is -3 greater than half of 4 minus 4? And simplify the algebra there, or arithmetic. And you'll find out, is -3 greater than -2? No, that's false, right? -3 is not greater than -2. And 4, -3 would be right here, and it should be false because it's not in the shaded area. So it matches both ways. It matches algebraically. You get something true, it's in the shaded area. And if you get something false, it should be in the non-shaded area. And you know for sure which one should be shaded or not. That's really the thing that people are going to struggle with the most, is shading the right area. So a couple ways of figuring that out. Okay? Yeah. Yes, please put in the equation. Right now I'm giving you points that are actually on the graph and you can actually physically see with your own 2 eyes. Oh yeah, it's right here. It's not shaded. I know that. I don't need to figure that out. And then on the back I start putting points that are like 10, 8, which this only goes up to 6. So what happens if you have coordinates that are bigger than 6's? Right? You'll have to do the algebra to figure out if it's a solution or not. So we can't always rely on the graph. It's only as good as the size of the graph that we've drawn. But with algebra, when you can plug in any point and know for sure if it's a solution or not. And it does the same thing on your homework as well on Khan Academy. Okay, it'll ask you to graph it, and it'll ask you, well, is this point a solution or not, which may or may not be on the graph itself. Okay, so let's go ahead and try, let me go down 1, do number 3. Okay. Yeah, I'll do number 4 actually. Let's go to 2. Yeah, start at 2, positive 2, right? And we'll go up 1 over 2 once again. And we can also go the other direction, whatever we need to do, get that nice straight line. Is this one going to be solid or dashed? And this is where you use your notes to help yourself out. Look up that symbol. Right, so that's a solid line, right? So this time we can just draw a solid line. Okay, now the difference, once again, between the solid and dashed, everything on this line is a solution. If it's on a dashed line, it's not a solution. It's like the open and closed circle. Open circle just means that's where the answers start, but that number is not actually a solution. And should I shade up or down? Up. Okay. Yeah. Greater than, bigger. Okay. So thinking of y, what y's are bigger than 2, 3, 4. Yeah. All these up here. So go ahead and do a light shade on there. There we go. And then algebraically verify those 2 points. So we got is 0 greater than or equal to half of negative 4 plus 2. And we get is 0 greater than negative 2 plus 2, which equals 0 itself. So is 0 greater than or equal to 0? Yes, that is true, because it has the equal to part. If it didn't have the equal to part, that would be false. So 0 is greater than or equal to 0. And it's right here on the line. Okay, so if it's a dashed line, remember those are not solutions, this would be false if this was just a greater than. And same thing here is 4 greater than half of 2 plus 2. And nope, that's not right. 2. And is 4 greater than or equal to 3? Yeah, that's true. And 2 comma 4? Yep, that's right here. It's in the shaded area, so the fact that it's true here and it's in the shaded area here means you've definitely shaded the right place. All right, go ahead and finish number 2 and number 3. And if you're ready, you can flip it over to the back and start solving those for y. That's the only thing difference here. Oh, on number 5, go ahead and switch this to 0, 0. On number 5, switch it to 0, 0 instead of 0, 2. One thing on number 5, I suggest actually after this, do the check first. So like on number 5, plug in the 0, 0 first. Alright, so we'll get 0 minus 0 is greater than negative 4. Okay, 0 minus 0 is 0. So is 0 greater than negative 4? That's a true, right? So that means 0, 0 should be in the shaded region. That's your answer. So 0, 0 should be shaded. Okay, that should be shaded. That'll get you started for that. And we'll go over some more in a little bit. But right now, start on the front, and then finish those 2, and then go flip over to the back and try 5 and 6. Okay, so 1 and 2 should look like this. Alright, don't forget from 2, it's a slope of 1, which is 1 over 1. Right? And the first point is not a solution, the second point is. And here's 3 and 4. On this one, neither are solutions, right? One of them is on the line, but it's not a solution because it's a dashed line. So neither of these are true, so you should have an X or false next to both of them. All right. So let's go back and take a look at number 5. All right, so we already said that 0, 0 should be in the shaded area. And if we go through and do the steps, we'll have to subtract 3x on both sides. It's minus 3x on both sides, right? So we get negative 2y is greater than negative 3x minus 4, and divide both sides by negative 2. Right? So we get y, we get positive 3 over 2 because negative over negative is positive, and we get positive 2 here because negative 4 divided by negative 2 is positive 2. So watch out for those negatives, show the work so we don't miss on something like that. Bring down your sign. And we're going to do positive 2, y-intercept, and we're going to go up 3, right 2. Also going to go down 3, left 2. So I get a more complete line. I can see it's supposed to be dashed line. So we got a dashed line. Now, something peculiar, right? I've already figured out algebraically that 0, 0 should be in the shaded area. If you look at this closely, 0, 0 is definitely in the shaded area because when you plug it in, you got something true, right? So 0, 0 is right here in the middle. So that means this should be, this is the correct area to shade. Right? Now, how come that does not line up with what your notes would say? Because this clearly is a greater than, and a greater than on your notes says shade up, and this is shaded down. So how come it doesn't agree? How come it's the plugged in point says shade down, but then right here greater than says shade up? How come they're different? Anybody catch that? Come up with it? Yeah? Yeah, we divided by a negative up here. So if you recall, if you divide by a negative with inequality, you're supposed to flip the sign. So it is a less than, but if you forget about that, yeah, you're going to get the wrong answer. Okay, so keep that in mind. If you divide by that negative, you do flip the sign. So that's why we have this check algebraically for us, so that if you mess up, you can always make sure you did shade the right area, and if you miss that one thing. So my advice to you is do the check first, right? So plug in 1, 1, like on number 6, and see if that's in the shaded area or not. And then go ahead and do the graphing and see, make sure it agrees. So according to this, yeah, 1, 1 should be in the shaded region. When I finish my graphing, I know I'm going to shade the right area because I've proved it algebraically. Okay? Just a way to make sure. Okay, so go ahead and work on the back now. Finish those up, and when you're finished with them, go ahead and show me. And then after a little while, I'll put up the solutions as well so you can check that out. Okay, let's look at, let's see here. Here's 5 and 6. Okay, is that what you have for 5 and 6 there? Or 6 at least? And we did not divide by a negative here, so it's the same. It should be solid line and shaded up. And here's number 7 and 8. Make sure you got those graphs right there. Okay, check the last few. Let's go ahead and look at your homework. Okay, so this is the Khan Academy assignment, right? And so you have to do the normal, do the slope, y-intercepts, figure out where it goes. So you can drag 1 point for the y-intercept and 1 point to do the slope. That's my advice. So drag 1 point is at -1, and I know the slope is -1 as well, so it's going to be going down. And then you can click the dashed or solid line here. This one's going to be dashed. And you can change the shading up or down this way. So it's going to be shaded down. And then below, there's going to ask you, well, is this going to be a solution or not? -6, -8. And this one's on the graph. It's in the shaded area, so the answer is going to be yes. Okay. So that's how your homework's going to go. Now, this is really going to be classwork for tomorrow, due at the end of the period. So there's the one we did on Tuesday and this one, and you can finish them by tomorrow at the end of class. Okay, so if you want to do this tonight, or if you're already working on it and almost finished, that's fine too. But I'll just be checking for completion at the end of class tomorrow. So you have all day in class tomorrow to finish this up. Okay? Yep. All right, so go ahead and keep working, and you can start now if you haven't already, and continue tomorrow.